Storytime with me, Lavender Sparkles. Who joined in making some extra special pancakes the other day? I was feeling so sick after eating all of the pancakes I made. Had some for breakfast and for pudding after my dinner. Did anyone else have pancakes? So today I've got another Julia Donaldson book for us to read. This one was asked for. It's called The Detective Dog. So here it's here, The Detective Dog by Julia Donaldson. So what I'll do is I will get the pictures up on the screen like normal. There we go. Okay. Here it's here. So this one again is a Julia Donaldson book and the pictures have been done by Sarah Ogilvie this week. Let's get started then, will we? There once was a dog with a keen sense of smell. She was known far and wide as Detective Dog Nell. Sniff, 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 time after time, Nell the detective solved crime after crime. Who threw the hazelnuts down from the tree? Who took the honey away from the bees? Who did the poo on the new gravel path? How did the spider get into the bath? Sniff, sniff, sniff. With a wag of her tail, Nell the detective was hot on the trail. Nell shared her house with a person called Peter. A very nice child, though could have been neater. A 6-year-old Peter was one of those boys who kept on mislaying his clothes and his toys. Sniff, 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 nose to the ground. These are the things the detective dog found. The bus in the bowl, and the book in the bed, the sock in the sofa, and the shoe in the shed. A tumble-down teddy, a bounce-away ball. Nell the detective discovered them all. Now, Nell did detection from Tuesday till Sunday, but did something totally different each Monday. She found Peter's bag and she tracked down her lead, then set off for school, where she heard children read. The children loved reading their stories to Nell, and Nell loved to listen, also to smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Mixed in the air were plasticine, custard, and newly washed hair. The crusts in the bin and the coats in the hook, but the best smell of all was the smell of books. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites. Books about princes who turned into frogs, books about dragons, books about dogs. But then came a Monday when all was not well. Nell sniffed the air. She smelled the wrong smell. Into the classroom, the two of them hurried and found Mr. Jones looking terribly worried. He tugged at his hair and let out a sigh. Peter looked round and started to cry. Sniff, sniff, sniff. What was going on? The books, cried out Peter. The books have all gone. Nell gave a growl when she heard the bad news, but then started sniffing and searching for clues. Sniff, sniff, sniff. On the bookshelf, a cap. The thief must have dropped it, the terrible chap. Nell sniffed the cap, then she tugged on the lead, and woof! She was off at astonishing speed. There she goes. Everyone followed Detective Dog Nell. She stopped at the traffic lights. What could she smell? Sniff, sniff, sniff. Haddock and hay, pizza and penguins, and further away, the smell of the thief. And how very exciting. Thousands of pages all covered in writing. Then, woof, they were off, with no time to stop, past the farm, and the zoo, and the takeaway shop. They raced through a field where the rabbits smelled good, then over a golf course and into the wood. They thrashed through the overgrowth, leafy and dense, till they came to a gate and an old wooden fence. Then Nell started growling and pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant, "The thief is in here." They flung the gate open, and Peter cried, "Look!" For there sat a man with his nose in a book. There were many more books poking out of a sack, and the children yelled, "Those are our books! Give them back!" Sniff, sniff, sniff. The book thief looked sad. "I'm sorry," he sniffled. "I know I've been bad. Stealing is wrong, but I just meant to borrow. I was planning to give the books all back tomorrow." To borrow. To borrow. Nell pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant, "I have an idea." Then, woof! She was off, and away they all sped, including the book thief. Told them, "I'm Ted." Sniff, sniff, sniff. They raced through the wood and over the field where the rabbits smelled good. They panted and puffed past the takeaway shop, the zoo and the farmyard, never a stop. Except to retrieve Peter's scarf and his ball, which someone had thoughtfully placed on a wall. Till they came to a building with doors wide open, and what did they see? They went inside. Thousands of books from floor to ceiling. The books gave the thief the most heavenly feeling. He gazed in amazement. "Where am I?" he said, and Peter replied, "In the library, Ted. You can join if you want. There isn't a fee, and then you can take lots of books out for free." So Ted had a lovely new library card, and he sits reading books in his little backyard. And when it's Monday, Detective Dog Nell visits the school with the wonderful smell. Sniff, 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 with a faraway look, she smells and she listens to book after book. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about princes who turned into frogs, books about dragons, books about dogs. All the old books and a new one as well. The story of daring Detective Dog Nell. That's a lovely story, boys and girls, wasn't it? So thank you to whoever suggested that one. If you've got a suggestion for books, make sure you pop them in the comments and I'll see how many are suggestions that we can get read. I promise we've got a wee activity to do today as well. What I'm going to do is, if you've got a writing pencil handy and a bit of paper, I want you to grab them and I'll show you how we are going to be our own detectives. So I've got a little lid here so that I can show yous. Okay, so I've got my writing pencil, okay, and my plain bit of paper. And what you're going to need to do is we're going to try and find our fingerprints. So if you're being a detective, you're going to look for fingerprints, aren't you? Yep. So we're going to take our pencil, and what I want you to do is I want you to use your pencil and scrape a bit of a square, okay? As long as it's big enough for your fingerprints, okay? So you want to lean quite hard on it, okay? Don't need to go in the same direction, see? Okay, and you make sure it's really, really dark. And then, once you've done a wee square, when you take your finger, okay, and you're going to rub it so that your finger gets kind of dirty, okay? So I'm going to keep rubbing and make sure that my finger gets really grubby, like this. Focus, there we go. Okay, and then what you're going to do is, on the other side, I want you to push really hard. I'm going to lean against this and roll your finger like that. And you can see, if it focuses in, the fingerprints. Can you see it? So you can do that with one finger, or you can do it with all fingers, and you can do a wee finger profile. So once you've done that, make sure you don't go and touch anything else in the house until you get a wipe, or go and wash your hands with soapy bubbles, because otherwise you'll get big mucky fingerprints on other things, and mums and dads or whoever's at home will be able to know that it was you. So if you just, all you do is push really hard and you get a wee fingerprint up. But yeah, make sure you wash your fingers, because otherwise they'll just get all sticky. It's not sticky, it's all dirty everywhere. Okay, so that's how I said, if mums and dads have got a wee wet wipe handy. So once you've done that, so what you can then do is, if you've got any other brothers and sisters at home, you could get them to do it as well. And what you can do, if you've got a magnifying glass, you can see how your fingerprints are all different. See if you can tell whose fingerprints whose. Another little detective activity that I've got for you. I've not got it set up though, because I didn't have the ingredients. But what you can do is, again, using a plain bit of paper, if you've got any lemon juice at home, ask whoever's at home if we've got any lemon juice. And what you can do is you can get a paintbrush and you can write a secret message in the lemon juice. Then you let it all dry in and you'll not be able to see anything on the paper. Then you get an adult to get a bit of heat behind your paper. So it works if you're using it in the kitchen, if you're using the hob. And get a wee bit of heat behind it, but make sure you don't set it on fire. Okay? And then your secret message will be seen again. So it only gets seen once you've got some heat behind your bit of paper. It's really cool. You should definitely give it a try. Let me know if you try any of my detective activities. Make sure you let me know. Put a wee picture in the comments and let me see how you are getting on with your detective. You could even make your own little police costumes. You can make your own police badge and everything and be real detectives. It'd be good fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's story time, boys and girls. And for those of you that are going back to school and nursery next week, I hope you have good fun and you enjoy it. I know that a lot of people that I've spoke to, they've been missing school and nursery. So have fun and good luck going back to school. And until next time, boys and girls, bye-bye!